Saying monkeys. Alright, anyways, guys. See here. Today, we're gonna be talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's DP system and some team building, okay? So, first of all, I want to say, man, the fucking DP system is so fun, man. In other fighting games, if you made some characters weaker than others, you know, that would just make the meta extremely unbalanced, and you know, everyone would be fucking picking Goku, Gogeta, Vegito, right? It would be picking all these UI, Goku, Whis, Beerus, all these broken overpowered characters in relation to their lower cost, you know, characters. This game does it like it's not super balanced, right? Obviously, there's gonna be characters who are, you know, maybe they should cost a little bit more or a little bit less, right? It's all up for debate right now, right? The game just came out, but relatively, I think everyone's cost to their performance is pretty correct, right? Which is really nice because let's say you really like Cyberman for some reason, okay? You can play him. Like, there is no downside to playing a Cyberman. Cybermen can fill their role in a team, right? We're gonna be talking about that later. Or if you like really like Great Saiyaman Gohan for some reason, you know, you can play him, right? You can play him just fine. You like Piccolo, you can play Piccolo just fine. Even though these characters don't really scale to the level of Whis and Beerus at all, you can still play them because of the DP cost, right? I love this shit. Right? Because of the DP system, we have lots and lots of potential for team building and theory crafting, okay? And this video is coming from a guy who really likes theory crafting and, you know, strategy and team building in video games, okay? I am a League of Legends player. I like to play strategy games. I like to play a bunch of games that involve the prospect of using a strategy, okay? Anyways, let's begin. First of all, the most important part of building a team is character mastery, okay? Or hero mastery, or whatever you want to call it. There's character mastery in this game, okay? So, first of all, if I say, okay, I think Hit looks really cool. I really like Hit from the show, okay? I want to use him, and he's a really high cost, okay? So, first of all, you have to consider, you know, am I good with Hit? If you're not good with it, well, and you really want to use them, well, you know what you do? Go get good with them, okay? Go get good with them first, and then you can worry about everything else, okay? So, you have to be, you know, this comes without saying, you have to be good at the character you're picking, okay? Because, this game, like, almost everyone's animations and kit are very unique. So, needless to say, I can't swap from being a Frieza main to a Hit main and have the same effect in this, right? Because Hit has lots of unique stuff to him, right? Like he can instant transmission right behind people, and he can time skip and whatever. And Frieza has his own transformation stuff. It is all very nuanced and different. Okay, so you're gonna have to, you know, put in some games, put in some time, or you know, gain the practice tool, and train up your character. Okay, or just play some ranked. Okay, that's before everything. Okay, just get familiar with your main character, okay? Because that is very important. So now, we can start talking about characters and their roles after you've chosen a main. We're going to be, obviously, building a team around this one character you really like. Let's say my character I really like is Goku. Very easy to build a team around. He can be the carry, and whatever. We'll get into the roles later, right? You can also build a team around, with great difficulty, around, you know, Mr. Satan or Chaozu or these like low-cost characters. You can still try to build a team around them, but it'll be considerably more difficult because their cost is just lower, right? So their stats are just gonna be in relation to like fucking UI Goku, Beerus. Obviously, their stats are gonna be way lower, and they can be stat checked, which is fine. Okay, as long as you like your character, it's okay. So I've come up with 4 general roles for all the characters. We have carry, we have stall, we have mix-up, and we have specialist. That's the 4 roles I've condensed the 180 characters down into, okay? What is a carry, okay? So carry in the traditional sense is the highest cost character or your main character, the character you're best at, and they're going to do all the damage. They're going to be doing all the cool combos. They're going to be doing everything, okay? You have to be extremely familiar with him, and this is just your main. Okay, this is going to be your main, and ideally they are a 5 cost or more. Okay, but you know, if they're slightly lower and you think you can make it work, yeah, go for it, man. This is just a basic outline for what a team should look like. Okay, but the general idea. That's basically carry, right? We'll give you some examples like. Oh, there's a lot of characters in this game, right? All the high cost characters can be a carry. Like Goku, right? Goku is very high value. He can have a lot of transformations. Vegeta, lots of transformations. You know, even Piccolo, not a lot of transformations, but Piccolo, pretty strong character. I like Piccolo. Obviously, Beerus, Whis, Hit, GT Vegeta, Jiren, all these high cost characters, all can be carries, okay? They all have the potential to carry a game. Alright, next is fodder. Or not fodder. We can call it something more pleasant, which is stalling, okay? Why stalling is important in this game is, if you didn't know, when your character is swapped out and they're injured, they can gain up to a certain amount of HP as your other character takes the field. So let's say my Goku is super injured, he only has 1 health bar left, and I swap to Yajirobe. And I stall to the maximum potential, we can gain like a bar and a half of HP just by Yajirobe just being on the field, right? We can just play good defense, and then Yajirobe with a Senzu Bean, he can stall until Goku gets more HP, right? And we get lots of value from that. Generally speaking, fodders are very low cost characters, like Chaozu, like Frieza Force Soldier, like Master Roshi, like Cybermen, and like Yajirobe, okay? They solely exist for being low cost and maybe even a little bit tanky, okay? Not Master Roshi. Master Roshi is not very tanky. But Yajirobe is moderately tanky, okay? Some of these characters, you know, even Dodoria, 3 cost or 3 cost or below, these guys all have, you know, Nappa pretty high HP pool, right? We can choose these characters with their unique special stats to fill a role in our team. Now we're got stall out of the way, we have Mixup, okay? This is personally, I think it's very important. Mix-ups include Birder, Zarbon, and maybe even giant characters, okay? But just anyone whose animations are drastically different from your main. It's quite difficult for Frieza, right? So we'll use another example. Let's say I main Goku. Goku is not the fastest character, right? He's kind of a medium speed, like a humanoid character, right? Birder over here has very fast speed, so you could have Birder as your mix-up character. And why this is important is because Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a lot about timing. If you get your timing correct on everything, you're basically like Ultra Instinct, right? The mix-up character, essentially, you bring him in and you mix him up, right? Your animations are drastically different and you're way faster, and the timings they got used to with their main characters are going to be off. So your specialist can come in and do some damage. Especially in the case of Birder, he has this special ability where he can go immediately into Sparking with his gauge, right? And he's pretty threatening, okay? He's pretty fast. These guys should be like 3 to 5 cost, right? Medium cost, and you should be moderately good at them, right? You should at least know their combos and whatnot, okay? Our last example, our last character role is a specialist. So a specialist is someone who has a very, very, very unique ability, and we cannot classify them into any of the previous 3. The best example for a specialist would be Captain Ginyu. Okay, this guy doesn't stand out in stats, doesn't stand out in abilities or anything, except for his ultimate, okay? Captain Ginyu's ultimate is, you literally just give him Captain Ginyu, you know, everyone who watched the show knows, it's body change. You can literally steal away their UI Goku if you want to, okay? If you did it successfully. So that's why he is a specialist. Some other people that will be a specialist would be self-destruct characters like Cybermen and Chaozu, right? In this category, you look for someone who has a really, really unique ability, like Captain Ginyu, right? That's the premier example I'm using right now. A lot of characters are actually pretty multi-role if you want them to be. You know, it's a fighting game and everyone has a base kit that you can work off of. Let's say, let's start with an example of someone who has a lot of potential in all the roles. My main, Frieza. Frieza has multiple forms that not only gives him a stat boost, but also changes his attack speed and everything, and his timing, right? So, for example, what I'm comparing to is like, let's compare it to Goku. Goku has so many forms, right? But all of these forms, basically he moves at the same speed, like the attacks and their speed don't change much, right? And his size and everything is relatively the same. He just has different supers and different kit, right? I'm not saying a different kit is not important. It is very important, right? But Frieza is unique in the way that he can also be a mix-up character within himself, right? Because Mini Frieza obviously is going to be acting a lot different from second form Frieza. Second form Frieza is pretty gigantic and he moves slowly. Mini form Frieza moves kind of faster, you know, and final form Frieza moves way faster, right? And final 100% Frieza goes back to being slow, right? There's a lot of mix-ups here, okay? And he can also stall, right? Because base form Frieza, if you didn't know, when he transforms, he actually gains like almost 60% of a bar of HP. I don't know if it's 60% or 75%, I don't know exactly, but he gains a good amount of HP every single time he transforms. Okay? Compare this to Goku. Alright, Goku can't be a very effective stall character because he has no access to, you know, very, very good defensive abilities. And he has no access to any healing. Right? Goku can go power up and go forms, but any of these form power-ups doesn't actually heal him. Right? But Cell and Frieza, they heal when they, you know, it's not even a transformation for them, it's almost like an evolution, right? So they gain more HP. Let's go into the reason why you should have a specialist, a mix-up, a stall, and a carry character in your team, and build your team like this, right? So, first of all, just for fun, right? You can have like characters all different types in your team, and it plays out more fun than if you just had, you know, fucking 3 Gokus in your team, right? That's just my opinion. But the example, the team building, the meta example would be, okay, let me give you multiple scenarios on why this build philosophy is competent and consistent, okay? So let's say our first scenario, our carry, your Goku, your Vegeta, your Frieza, gets low in HP. You have to find a way to save him out of that scenario, okay? If we had a stall character, we can just swap in the stall character, and the stall character does what they do best, right? They stall, okay? And they get value, and they wait for the main character to regenerate their HP, and they get massive value, right? We basically trade their very, very measly lives for, you know, high DP, high cost characters' lives, okay? So that is one scenario that this team comp excels in, okay? Second scenario that the team comp excels in is when you fuck up and your carry is getting his ass beat by the enemy carry, okay? So let's say I'm playing Frieza and someone has like red Gogeta, okay, and then they're beating my ass. Okay, so if I'm getting my ass handed to me, first of all, I could switch to stall, right, and try to recover my main and, you know, swap in at a later time to, you know, try to focus up again. Or we can switch to our mix-up, which is Birder. Birder is way faster than Frieza, so that Gogeta's timings are way off, right? Frieza's timings are way different than Birder's. This game's all about timings. So we swap in the mix-up, and we try to get an edge based on timings. Right? That's the second scenario. There's a third scenario where, you know, you fuck up and your carry dies. Your carry service dies. Your high DP character, your high investment character, literally just dies. If we have no other characters on the team, or like we don't build like this, we can't effectively swap in a second carry, right? Your mix-up should be your second best character in the team, so you swap in your mix-up, you try to play from there, right? We have contingencies for that, or we can swap in our specialist and get massive value, right? So our carry dies. If we get wiped, they get pretty high HP. Now, if you didn't have a specialist, it would be looking pretty bad. But if you had Captain Ginyu, you can steal that UI Goku right off of him. A lot of potential in a comeback if we have a specialist like Captain Ginyu or Self-Destruct, you know, they're very low cost, you go in and you do a bunch of damage. So, as you have noticed, these scenarios all start with the carry. I say, my carry is winning, my carry is going even, or my carry is dead. Obviously, the most important character in your team is going to be your carry, as I've stressed multiple times. Right? It should be a character you're good at, and you're confident they can beat any other character on this character. Because I've beat Gogeta Super Saiyan 4s on my Frieza, and I'm confident I can take on anyone with my main, okay? The rest of the characters are just because, you know, we have extra DP, and then we want to build a team for them. Everything is around the carry. Something I forgot to mention, if you didn't know, is that androids are actually specialists, which is why I have Android 18 instead of Captain Ginyu. Right? I find Android 18 to be quite strong by herself, so I can have like 2 carries, you know. I can have Birder and I can have I mean sub carries. I can have 2 sub carries. Like I have a birder and I can have Android 18. So what androids do in the show is that they have infinite energy, right? But in this game, it's quite different. They don't actually have infinite ki, right? That would be extremely broken because this game is all about ki management and timings. They don't have infinite ki. They have very fast passive ki generation, and they cannot do their, you can't charge your ki on androids. What this makes the androids do is they're extremely aggressive characters that have no downtime. Because, most characters like, oh, I just did a Kamehameha with my Goku, so I'm gonna have to, back off a little bit and regen my ki, or else I can't do my vanishes, I can't do my dragon rushes, I can't do my beams. I'm basically useless, right? So they're gonna be trying to back off after that confrontation. Android 18 on the other hand is gonna fly straight in, right? There's no other way of letting her get more ki. The only other way you get more ki is by beating shit up. So these android characters are extremely aggressive because they don't play by the rules. Everyone else wants to, or not wants to, they get limited by their ki, right? You can't pressure infinitely in this game. You pressure with all your ki, and then you get your combo off, and then you do your blast, or you do your super, and then you're back to like 1 or 2 ki bars. You can't do much, right? So you reset, you back off, and you charge, and your opponent gets some breathing room, right? There is none of that with androids. Okay, they get no breathing room. Androids are straight up nuts to butts. They're going to kill you, right? Which is pretty cool. That's actually about it for all of the roles and everything I wanted to talk about. Obviously, this is a very early on look at the game, right? But from my understanding, this should be, not too far off from our final understanding of what the game actually is. This only scratches the surface, but this is a general idea of what I think the teams should be in this game. Right? If you want more, these team building or Zero Cartoons, just any Dragon Ball Sparking Zero or just gaming content, subscribe and like. I'll see you on the next one.